Hi everyone, good evening to all present here. I'm Shreya and I'll be your host for today's session. So, today we are back with episode 8 all about MLH Fellowship with Cristopher Cejudo. We welcome to Techsahead. Welcome to Techsahead. Our community is an open platform for all students to learn and grow together. We at Techsahead believe in the power of knowledge to enhance humanity and make greater impacts. For tech enthusiasts, budding entrepreneurs, designers, and curious learners, Techsahead is here for you. We organize peer to peer learning sessions, engage the people, and make sure you learn from the best. To stay updated about latest trends and technologies, Techsahead is here for you. Before we start with the session, let's welcome our speaker, Cristopher Cejudo, who will be telling us all about MLH Fellowship program. He is an incoming software engineer at he is an incoming software engineer and he is passionate about using software to create and develop new ideas. His interests are machine learning, site reliability, and full stack development. He is his interests are machine learning, site reliability, and full stack development. After going through different interview rounds, he finally got to become production fellow at MLH Fellowship track powered by Facebook. Hi, Christopher.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
It would be great if you could tell us more about yourself to the audience.
Hi, sure. Well, I'm Christopher. I'm currently in my last semester of the computer engineering career here in Mexico. Um, as it was mentioned before, after being through a lot of interview process, I finally got through the MLH fellowship. It has been a great experience. Actually, I'm in the last week. We are graduating this next Monday. So yeah, I'm here to share with you guys all what I have learned so far and whatever questions you have.
Okay, so let's move on to the question and answers. So, what is MLH Fellowship?
Okay, so MLH, the MLH fellowship started as an alternative for all those for all those internships that were canceled because of this pandemic. So, for example, in my case, it actually happened to me that I actually got an offer from Audible at that time. But at the end, because I'm in Mexico and this pandemic and all of the things that are happening in the world, my internship got canceled. So that was like pretty sad. But I applied to the MLH actually before having this interview process. And I got it was not a rejection, but I got this news that I would not be able to be in this internship. And then I got this email to start the process with MLH. And MLH, as I said, is this alternative for these internships to get the fellows the opportunity to have real work experiences. It's not like it's not a job. It's more like an educational experience where you get a lot of knowledge of different topics. Especially, it depends on the track that you pick to be. In my case, it was production engineering. This was a special track for this batch, powered by Facebook, and yeah, I think I'll leave it there.
Okay, that's great. So, how and where to apply for this?
Okay, so in MLH Fellowship, they have a different interview process, like in other big tech companies. As you might know, in these big tech companies, the normal interview process is that they give you a problem and that you have to solve it. It's a the data structure algorithm problem. You have to uh, try to go through the problem, make your best solution, and hope for the best, right? But in the MLH, they don't believe like in this process. So first, you have to apply in their platform. They will ask you about different things like what are your passions, what are the things that you have done so far, share some projects. And here's the important part: you will be asked to share one important project and to describe it. And it's important that you really know this project, because if you get the interview, they will ask you about this project and to explain it, and to explain how it works and how did you develop it, what was your role in this project. So yeah, basically that's the interview process. You first have to fill out this form in their platform. There are a lot of questions regarding your career and what you like to do, what did you expect in case you are part of the MLH Fellowship, what are you willing to share with the community. And this part is really important. What project you share, to really know what is it about, because if you get the interview, you will then be asked to share this project and go through it.
Okay, so when are the applications open? When can you apply?
Actually, you can start applying now. I think it will be a batch for this next autumn. I'm not sure, but I'm in the third batch. So that there have been different batches in the whole year. They have like these different batches, so you can start applying now. I think they will have another batch for this next autumn, winter.
Okay, so what is the eligibility criteria?
Okay, it depends in the track that you choose to be. For example, and actually, I think for different batches there are different tracks. So for this batch that I was in, there was this track called Explorer, I think, and the production engineering. So in the Explorer, you see different things. In the Explorer track, what you see is you start exploring new technologies and start like increasing your portfolio. Uh, the requirements are that you are enrolled in a computer science degree or something related. Um but I think you can apply even if you're not enrolled. You can check all of that in their website. And for the production engineering, it was the same. You have to be enrolled in a computer engineering degree or something related to be available to work at least 30 hours per week, and you have to have a good internet connection, video quality, and your microphone, of course, because you have daily meetings with your boss, with your team, where you work together and you have different sessions. So that's important.
Okay, so as you said about portfolio and resume, what are the major and the minor points that should be there?
Okay. Well, first, I will say that after the fellowship, you will increase a lot your portfolio there. But I will recommend you first in your resume that you include, if you are studying, you include at the beginning of your resume your what you're studying, what is your anticipated graduation date. If you have a good GPA, add it. If not, it doesn't matter. Then include your experiences. So if you have experiences, include with bullet points. This is really important. Uh, your role in this company, what company you were in, the date of start, the date of end, and what did you did in this company, your achievements. Try to include numbers. Numbers always look good in resumes, and try to be concise. Then include projects, and if you don't have experience, that try to include your projects and make them shine. So if you have cool open source projects that you have worked on, or cool hackathons projects, or maybe you did uh, an application to facilitate your life while you being in mathematics class or something like that. Include it there and make it shine, and include all these bullets about the impact of the project, your role, the technologies that you use. And it will be a good idea at the end of your resume, if you have any voluntary work or any achievements that you want to include. That's been the basic structure of my resume, and it worked.
Okay, so should we share all our links, LinkedIn, resume, website? And what if one of our links is not good enough? Should we share all of them?
I will recommend if you have a good LinkedIn page, share it because I think I think LinkedIn is a really important platform for you to make networking. So I will highly recommend to share your LinkedIn and your GitHub page, and of course, if you have a portfolio website, include it there. And this is another important point. I will recommend you to work on your GitHub. Because a lot of recruiters or tech people will check your GitHub, and that's like a really good impression or a bad impression that you can have if you don't have like a good GitHub page, because that's what you're that's how you show how hard you work. At least I see it like that. So try to make a good welcome page in your GitHub. Try to show all your contributions, your if you have pull requests, if you have code reviews, anything that you have in your GitHub, try to show it and work in your GitHub. Try to create new projects and make commits, and I think that that really good looks good when you're applying and when you see someone's GitHub, that can have a really good impression. I think you're mute.
Sorry. Okay,
Don't worry.
so what are its different programs?
What different programs are?
Yes, in
Well,
MLH.
okay, as I mentioned, for this batch, it was the Explorer, that it was for you to explore new technologies, to make new projects and add them to your portfolio. In my case, it was production engineer. So throughout these 12 weeks, we were working with new technologies, like to keep systems running and working. So these technologies went from containers, Nginx, monitoring tools, testing tools, and at the end, we have a really cool project. My project was a, a web application that recommends you Spotify music based on your emotions. So it had a machine learning module. So you enter to the website, and it asks you to log in with your Spotify account. It made an analysis of your top artists, your top genres, your top albums, and then you can took a photo of you, and it will guess the emotion that you were feeling, like if you were sad, if you were angry, and based on that, it will give you song recommendations. So that's another track. I saw that other tracks that are in the MLH are open source. So in this track, what you do, as the name says, is work on in open source projects. And I think there's another one that I saw in the page that is something like externship. So in this track, what you do is work with another companies in projects that the companies have, but that was not a track that was open for this, so I cannot give you a lot of information on that.
Oh, okay, so um, what and how to write the essays and explanations of the work and the projects that we have done.
Okay, it's important to include action words. So, for example, I will say, imagine you do a system for a company to increase their productivity. So you might say the this system was made to increase 50% the productivity on this area, and it processed this number of documents in this amount of time. Um, that's the structure that you might want to follow. Try to include the technologies. For example, this application was made with React in the front end, with Flask in the back end, and it was monitored by this tool, for example. Including, try to make it concise and to use these action words like uh, achieve, it handle. I don't know. I cannot remember more words, but things like that, and trying to follow this structure.
Okay, so how do you answer such questions like why do you want to become an MLH fellow, and what perspective or experience will you bring to the fellowship?
Okay, of course, try to be honest. I would suggest you to go to the page to see what are the tracks, what MLH can offer you, and of course, what can you offer. To put you in a little bit of context, MLH is the Major League of Hacking, and they're like what they do is to make these hackathons around the world. This is like a really big organization. So why, for example, in my case, why did I want to become a fellow? I wanted to increase my knowledge, to share new ideas with new people, um, because in this fellowship you will be with people from all around the world. There were a lot of people from Mexico, people from India, people from Canada, from the United States, from United Kingdom. So in my case, it was to meet people from around the world, share ideas, uh, to increase my skills, and of course, what I was able to share was like my knowledge, my initiatives, my attitude. So try to see what you can offer, but of course, what you want to get from the fellowship, right?
Okay, so is the fees for the fellowship worth it?
Yeah, there is a fee, but it's different depending on the country you are placed. But actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of this, but I think if you are not able to pay the fee, I think you can skip it. I'm not quite sure. You will have to check it when you apply. In my case, they have a fee based on Mexico. It wasn't that much, I think. I cannot remember the exact fee, but it, as I said, is different based on the country you are. Um, but yeah, I think if you're not able to pay it, I think you can skip it, but I'm not quite sure of that.
Okay, how much would you recommend this to others?
I will extremely recommend it. I mean, of course, to be honest, I don't know how different will be like my experience if I will be able to be in this other internship that it got canceled because of this pandemic. But I will definitely say that it hardly increased my skills. My skills, my knowledge of these new tools. Production engineering for me, it was, I've heard it before, but DevOps is not something that I really knew what is all about. So it really helped me to understand system, Unix system, containers, dockerization, Kubernetes, all of these tools that are important in today's world. These are tools that are used in all of these big tech companies. And actually, production engineering is a track that, or production engineering is something that now companies are looking for, because there are a lot of people in development, but there are not that amount of people in maintaining this system working, like in the big scale. So I will highly recommend you, if you really like or really want to increase your knowledge in different topics, in different technologies, because you really get a real world experience while being in this fellowship. Probably, yeah, it's an educational experience, but I find it more worth it. And moreover, if you are like studying your degree, and at least I see it like in college, you can get the way of thinking. Like you can meet new people and start thinking like in a different way. But the real knowledge, like the technologies and all of that, I think you get it through making projects, and sometimes by your own, while making research. So this opportunity is a really big opportunity if you want to obtain more knowledge, like in the technical way, but also to improve your soft skills, like communication, leadership, and things like that.
Okay, so how do you stay updated about opportunities like this?
As I mentioned before, I think LinkedIn is a really good site to be updated, to make networking. You can look for job opportunities there. Also, I will not recommend you a lot to apply from LinkedIn. As you know, you can. there are some jobs that you can apply from LinkedIn, because you have like this quick apply and just take your LinkedIn project and apply. I will not recommend you to do that. I think from my experience, it's better if you find a new position, go to the company site and apply from there. I think is you have a better chance if you do that. But yeah, if you start to follow the companies that you're interested in, or if you start follow MLH, for example, you will definitely know when there are new opportunities or new roles opens, or anything that you're interested in. So for me, LinkedIn, I think it's a really good idea to be in, and to be researching if you are interested.
Okay, so tell me, how was your experience? Like, what you did, when, and what were the benefits that you got from this fellowship?
Yes, sure. As I mentioned, this is like a really work experience. So basically, the experience is that you will have a team. It is called a pod, with different people from around the world. They will try to make a fit for your schedule. So you will have a time in the day where you will meet with all of your pod, and you will be sharing daily what did you did, what you're planning to do, and if there is something if there is some difficulties or any blockers. And and yeah, so basically, you're studying different materials throughout the weeks. You have these milestones that you want to achieve, and you are being supported by your team leader and from the other people from the MLH Fellowship. So you are developing these projects to achieve these milestones, and of course, you can get support by your pod. There are some projects that are made in teams. There are there's other work that is made individually, but you can always ask for help and work with your fellow mates. And besides all of these educational experience, there are also events like for example, we have cracking the coding interview. For example, there is a career where there's a week where you work in your resume, and all of these, like to make it shine, to polish it. So there is more than just the educational experience. There are these different events. There were also events where you were playing Among Us with people from another pods. So yeah, there are different things throughout the fellowship that you can encounter and take advantage of. But of course, this is an important thing to mention. I think uh, you will enjoy the fellowship as much as you want to. And why do I say this? Because that your body's there, and you make a commitment of being working at least 3 hours per week. But of course, if you don't really put effort on it, or you don't really put interest on it, probably you won't take the advantage of the fellowship. So of course, it depends a good amount of you, and how much do you want to take advantage of it.
Anything else would you like to tell our audience from your side?
Hey, yeah, sure. I will add that well, for me, it has been like a really interesting adventure, this interviewing process with different companies. I've been rejected like a lot. But something that I have learned is, don't be stuck with that company. With these interviewing processes, luck matters a lot. Even, of course, you have to prepare yourself and do not let a lot to the luck. But at the end, it matters. So try to knock all the doors that you can. Try to go to all the companies that you are attracted to and apply to them. And of course, it's a little bit hard to handle rejection, but at the end, the opportunity will come. It happened to me. Uh, for example, I had this interview with Microsoft, and I thought it was really good, but at the end, I didn't get the offer. Then I got an offer with another company, but because of this pandemic, it got canceled. And at the end, I got the MLH Fellowship. It was something that probably it wasn't expected, but at the end, I think it was the best outcome of this situation. So try to stay open to new opportunities, to go for them, and opportunities are out there, but you have to move and to try to reach them. So that will be like my piece of advice for you.
Okay, so that's all from my side. Thank you, Christopher, for joining us. It was a great pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much. It was awesome for me to share this as well.